Okay, good morning. How we doing? Today is Thursday, August 4th, 2016. Rich Van Tassel here with you. I have some breaking news in the NBA. Russell Westbrook agrees in principle to a new 3-year deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm very surprised by this. In different ways, of course. I figured Westbrook was almost certainly going to play out this year and become a free agent. Had it even gotten that far, had Westbrook gone into this season with the pending free agency facing him at the end of the year, he likely would have been traded. But I mean, you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know what would have happened in the future. But certainly, that's what I was expecting to see happen. Either he'd play out the year, or he would be traded before that. Now, what really surprises me the most in this situation is that it's only a 3-year deal. It will make him a max player, but with Oklahoma City, you clearly are going to take a step back losing Kevin Durant. I don't think they've addressed enough offensively with the departure of Kevin Durant. They did get Victor Oladipo, a guy who averaged 16 points last year. He's at 15.9 for his career, so he can give you some pop in that regard. But they were already basically devoid offensively, even with Kevin Durant. Just outside of Westbrook and Durant, it was all those two doing the job. So Victor Oladipo to me was a guy who was going to provide that spark they desperately needed offensively. Another guy who can put the ball on the hoop outside of Durant and Westbrook. Now you lose Durant. Victor Oladipo is not going to replace him, and you're going to put a lot of more pressure on Russell Westbrook. Now, what are we going to see with Russell Westbrook now that Kevin Durant's not there? He's clearly going to shoot a lot more. Let's see how much more, or actually, I shouldn't say that. We'll see how much more proficient he can be on his shots. I would see if he can start facilitating a bit more. We know he can get assists. He's had his numerous triple doubles. He can drop assists with the best of them. I've always thought that the reason he shot so much was because teams would focus in on Durant, and that offense was just so Durant and Russell Westbrook heavy that if you're shutting down Kevin Durant, you don't have a choice. If you're Russell Westbrook, he has to take matters into his own hands, and that's what he did. So, those are the things that you look at and you say, okay, well, what do you do in that situation if no one else can really provide any offense and Durant shut down? I have to take over. But with the 3-year deal here, is Westbrook good enough to get him back in the playoffs? Probably, but I'm not even so sure, especially with the improvements of teams like Minnesota. But in only 3 years, what is he? If they don't turn it around in the 2 years, then you're just going to be in the same situation. Now, for Oklahoma City, it gives them at least a reprieve to try to turn things around. But for Russell Westbrook to agree to the deal, that's why I'm surprised. It's 3 years, $87.5 million. That's a ton of money. Don't get me wrong, but he could also pay out at the end of this season. He was getting $17 million a year. It's not like it was, he wasn't getting paid a lot of money to begin with. So, what is he really thinking? In my opinion, signing this deal. Like I said, if things don't turn around, he's only going to be older 2 years from now, where he'd be in the same situation entering the final year. And certainly, if things start to go wrong, could he be agreeing to this deal because a trade may be in place? That's certainly a possibility that actually just came to me because that's really the only thing that's making sense. Teams may not want to give up, the farm to get a Russell Westbrook when he could just opt out at the end of this year. So I could see that as being the situation, but it's very confusing in my opinion because had it been, a 5, 6, 7 year deal, you'd be like, all right, Russell Westbrook's committed. He's going to try to turn things around. He's going to see what happens. But in this case, there's just no reason to expect that this team is really going to turn it around unless they make a big signing. Oklahoma City, we've never really known if they can be a big free agent destination. They've always had Durant and Westbrook. Those are really the only reasons they're going to get the free agents. Do people want to go play in Oklahoma City? Apart from those guys being there, I don't know. So it is what it is. I just can't see them turning it around that quickly. And, certainly in 2 years, is they're almost going to be in the same position they are now. You have an Ennis Cantor, Steven Adams, good players, not really much offensively. I mean, you had a team that was very complimentary of both Durant and Westbrook. Then you added an Oladipo. That would have just been another nice complementary piece to those two. Now, without Durant, guys like Adams and Cantor really have to step their game up to a level I don't think they have, frankly. Their level was perfectly fine with both those players on the team. Without Durant, there's just too much offense that needs to be picked up on the court. And in 2 years, I don't see it being turned around to a point where Russell Westbrook would be in the same situation entering the final year of a contract, only getting paid more money. And, then our team's going to look to trade him then. He'd be 2 years older, he'd be going in on 30. So you'd have to wonder if teams are going to give up as much as they might have now to get Russell Westbrook. And like I said, maybe teams just aren't biting and they need to do this in order to trade Russell Westbrook. So we'll see if that's the case. But a lot's going to develop. I'm expecting Russell Westbrook to go into the season and be the star, or maybe Westbrook agreed to this deal because he wants to be the star here, and he wants to show what he can do. We know this guy's competitive. We know he's a very proud guy, and we know there's not much he doesn't think he can do. So we'll see what happens. But again, Russell Westbrook signs a 3-year, $85.7 million contract, making him a max player. And we'll see what develops now as far as any trades, or wait and see for in the next 2 years if they can turn it around. Oklahoma City, that is, maybe bring in some nice pieces and get this thing going where he has a reason to re-sign when he's in this contract 2 years from now, or in this current situation 2 years from now. So a lot's going to have to happen with this, and we'll wait and see how it develops. And if any trades come across, we'll see if the trade wire starts to heat up. So thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you like my video, and enjoy the rest of your day.